Okay, so we're going to try and draw this fixture model, and excuse me if I don't look at the camera all the time, it's because I've got a second screen here which I'll be looking at the drawing, and so I'll be going backwards and forwards. But one thing I neglected to show in the previous video on how to set up Fusion, and I'm going to try and change this a little bit now. So you can see that we've got our, if we look at the little view cube up the top here, we've got our Z axis representing our height and our X and Y representing the bottom plane. And to do that, which I think is a preferred way of doing it, is to draw on the XY. Is we go to where your name is, then you click on Preferences, and it brings up the Preferences window, and then you can see under the default modeling orientation, you got two options for either the Y axis to be up or the Z axis to be up. So when you change it to so it says the Z is up, click on Apply and OK. Now it won't automatically update, so you may have to like quit out of the program and then log back in, and then when you log back in it should have updated then so that the Z is upright instead of the Y. Okay, so once that's correct, we're going to start some of our project. So we're going to create a sketch. So click on Create Sketch. It shows you three work planes, those being the XZ plane, the ZY plane, and the XY plane, which is the one on the bottom. And we want the XY plane, the one on the bottom. So select that one, click on that, and it brings this up. Now, technically, it doesn't really matter where this part is drawn on the page. I like to draw stuff so I have the origin point in the middle to be centered on my part. Alternatively, you sort of can use that as a linking point and then draw from that. So I'm just going to quickly start off and draw that. And so I'm going to grab a center rectangle. The only difference, it lets me draw from the center outwards. And we're looking at our drawings. We've got a total length there of 75, being 60 plus the radius of 15 makes 75. It even says it on the top one. So it's 75, and then the width is 30. So I've only done the first click at the moment. Most things are 2 clicks. So with the first click, you can see that dimensions are highlighted. Once I do that, I can actually type the dimensions in, press the tab key, and type it again. You can see they're both locked now. All I have to do is press enter on my keyboard, and there's my shape. If you have drawn the rectangle and you forgot to do the dimensioning of it, you can actually go to Sketch and Sketch Dimension, or press D on the keyboard. Grab that, you can click on the line, bring it up, and you can see that it'll allow you to draw the dimension as well. So that's one way of doing that. Alternatively, the third way would be to select the line. You can right click on it, you can go to Sketch, and then you've got Sketch Dimension within that. So I'm not going to do that, we're all good. So there's our base things there. The next part that we've got there is we're going to draw some 2 circles in those. One circle has a radius of 15, which we're going to draw on the back. The other one is a diameter of 15. We could also draw fillets in the corner here, so you could go to your Sketch and do fillets this way, and sketches on that one. I'm going to do the circle just so it's easier to do. So I'm going to go center circle diameter, and you're going to use the red line doing it this way, so you know the center point should be on that red line somewhere. Click that up, and our circle is 30, and just press enter or click OK on the keyboard. Once you've done that, what I think is good practice to do is then to constrain that, and you can see on the side here we've got constraints, and we want a tangent constraint. I reckon it's a good idea to tangent that to the sides of what you've previously drawn, and make sure that so it's all nice and neat like that. So it should come up with those tangent symbols, and it's a really good way of doing it is to get those to come up. Okay, we're going to draw our second circle now, so go back in there again and draw our second circle. I think you can actually go through and change whether it is a radial or a diameter circle. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment, so I'm just going to keep going. This one here is a diameter of 15. Press enter. So there's our 2 circles. So then what we can do is we're going to delete out some geometry in a minute. The other step that we're going to do is put a straight line coming through here. So we want a straight line that's going to drop straight from top to bottom. Don't forget we want the angle at 90 degrees, so we want that perpendicular to the other lines. And we need to dimension that. So from the center point to this straight line, so 2 clicks there, one at the center, one on the line, and that needs to be 18 millimeters from the front, from that center point. So just like that. So we've got 18 from the center point to that line, and then we've got all those there. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit, so I'm going to go to the trim tool, and I'm going to trim away these bits of line that I no longer need. So it's giving me a few warnings there to say that the one with the measurements is gone and things like that. If I was really worried about that, I can actually add another dimension there and go from the center point to this end line here, and that should be 60. So you can press and add that in there, and that helps to constrain things as well. So we can do that. Okay, so this part of the circle, we could also trim that away. So let's go to sketch and go trim, and trim that, that, and that, and they can all go. So you can see now we've got these sort of 2 shapes that we have, and when you mouse over, they go sort of a frosty white. The dashed lines are what's called construction lines, and construction lines won't actually, you can use those to reference from, you can use those to dimension from, things like that, but they won't come out as part of the geometry. So that's all the sketching that we're going to do at this point. We're going to go stop sketch, and that now brings us back into our modeling space. So I'm going to go to create and extrude, and I'm going to select this profile here, and the height of this profile needs to be 30 millimeters. So I'm going to type in 30, excuse me, go OK. And you can see that if I just mouse my mouse over on my view cube, we've got this shape, but our sketches disappeared. So I want to bring that back again. So I'm going to click on the sketches and turn my sketch back on. I'm going to go back into create, or you can use this extrude button there, and then select the other part, this bit here, and this is going to be 9 millimeters tall. So click on 9. Make sure you join this, because that's going to join that shape to that shape. If I wanted these as separate bodies, I could actually go to new body and it'll create a separate entity, but we're going to join that together all as one. So go OK. Okay, so there's our rough shape now. We've got a couple more things left to go. One is to do some chamfers. Now I could have done a chamfer on this sketch, or could do one like I'm about to show you here. So doing it in the modeling environment, I find it a little bit easier. So now we're going to go to modify, chamfer, and we're going to select the edge that's vertically there, and you might have to hold and select the other edge there, and they were 9 millimeters in. So equal distance on the chamfer type, go OK. So we've now got our chamfer there as well. The last step that we've got to do is to draw the rib that's going from the center there to the center there. To do that, we're going to do a bit of a sketch that's running on that plane that's working down the middle. And to do that, I need to draw a sketch that's on the plane that runs through this. So if I go to new sketch, this is the reason why it's a good idea to have the origin in the middle. So if I select that, it should be the shape within the middle of what I want to draw. And I've actually selected the wrong plane. I've selected the XY, so I'm just going to stop that. Undo that in my timeline, so we go back one step. And click on create sketch again. And I want to go that one there. Okay, that's better. Now I can go to slice, and it shows my part as it would be sliced in half. So you can see that I've got half my entity there. I want to get the line tool, and I want to draw a line that's going from the point there to that point that's down there. So we're drawing a line that should be going, and you can see it there, from midpoint to midpoint along that diagonal. I think that's where I want to go. Now, if I've got this right, we should be able to go stop sketch. And we should be able to go to create, and we're going to go rib, and let's see if we can choose our curve, and we want to go symmetric. The thickness of this is 7mm. And the options that we want to go to is we want to flip the direction around. So we want to flip that into our shape. And there you have it. So if I go OK, and we can turn off our sketches, there's our shape as per the diagram. So don't forget to go save that now. So we're going to go File, if you haven't already, Save. This is called Fixture Block, F-I-X-T, oops, can't type, T-U-R-E. Save that into your Year 10 CAD Skills Task folder. And I'm going to got one there, so I'm going to go Save. And that's it. So sorry about the coughing. This cold's killing me. But that's how you do the first block. So if you follow that video along, you should be all good to go in terms of creating that. Thanks for watching.